forces are under attack.
Should you become a nuisance, I'll kill you myself.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on ECLIPSE, it's one heck of a TVZ sent to me by RJB. It's going to be SOMA. It's going to be Royal. Love these two guys. Top right, it's going to be SOMA. Bottom left, it is a Royal. ASL champion Royal, man. He changed his name from Sorry, immediately won an ASL. Changing your name apparently gives you superpowers. And at the top right, it is SOMA, one of the best Zerg players over the last decade or so, and he is going to give Royal everything he can handle. So yeah, check it out. A long TVZ for you today. Happy 2025, everyone. You are a super cool person if you're watching StarCraft in 2025. Back in 98, did you ever think you would be watching professional games of StarCraft Brood War and other thousands of people would watch them with you in 2025? I did not. I had no, absolutely zero idea that this would be the case. I didn't even know professional StarCraft was a thing until like 2008. I was a super latecomer to the scene, man, but yo, everything is so good. All right, so SCV scouting. Taking a roundabout way here on Eclipse to avoid being scouted by the Overlord here. And it's going to be an engineering bay block. It is NG bay block here from Royal. It's going to be a hatch first, or maybe it's going to be a pool first play here. It's planning on being a hatch first here from SOMA, but the drone says, hey, this is where my hatchery goes, man. Why are you doing this? And the SCV says, hey, I'm just building. I'm not attacking you. Why are you attacking me? Wow, 4 drones pulled off the line here. And Royal says, that's an acceptable loss for the Zerg player. I'm delaying the hatchery, forcing him to go pool first here. And I can cancel it and get a refund. Oh my gosh, he's going to try to build it a little bit more so that it takes longer to destroy here. So annoying. So annoying here is Royal. But being annoying, there you go, there's the cancel, can win you many a Brood War game here. So, still trying to block. 300 minerals, bam, at 220. The pool is already almost done. Gas is already being harvested. A barracks is delayed here because of the engineering bay block. But hey, super hard wall off at the top of the ramp, and you are safe from Zerglings and any counterattack and revenge that SOMA would like to send after you. SOMA knows that. He knows this is Royal. The chance of getting a lot of damage done with a counterattack here is minimal. So we'll go ahead and scout. Well, I guess maybe Sloverlord scout here and see when the expansion is going to be, or not an expansion. Early gas, early factory here from Royal. Okay, man. We've got ourselves a lair on the way here as well. So all right, so it's gonna be mech. This is the second TVZ in a row that I've cast featuring mech. Last Saturday, Flash versus Queen with mech. Today, Royal versus SOMA with mech. Super excited about this. We love to see mech. SK Terran is very fun, but you know, mixing up strategies is always good. If Terran's always doing SK Terran against Zerg, it gets a little samey, doesn't it? He's building a command center off-center here because I think he's trying to prevent the Overlord from seeing it. The Marine keeps the Overlord from getting deep enough to see the expansion. Dude, Royal is playing an incredible game right here. Check this out. Overlord does not see the command center because if he goes too deep to see it, the Marine might kill him. He's checking to see, is there a wall at the front? No, there's nothing fully walling off anyway. He doesn't know about what's going on over here. Oh, does he see? And then, no, he doesn't see the vulture. Dude, at this point, I think SOMA probably needs to go for just a safety creep here. He doesn't know what's happening, and if you don't know what's happening, the worst thing that you can do is not be ready for a single vulture that shows up. And guess what? We are working on it. We're working on a single vulture that's showing up here. Spire on the way. I mean, it's 2-base Muta. He's pretending, at least he's acting like he thinks this is SK Terran. Although you can go Mutalisks against a Goliath opening as well. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, because guess what? Armory. Guess what? Charon boost. Guess what? Goliaths. Right, normal stuff. Before this gets too far into it, quick plug for our guy Facebook. Yes, I'm on Facebook. I've been there since like 2015. check it out. I just post little clips of my casts on that page. If you want a little bit of StarCraft daily in your social media feed on Facebook, give me a follow at Falcon Paladin. All right, Lings are going to try to bust through this wall. I mean, they're pulling their wounded Lings back. Okay, except for that one. And we're going to try to get this supply depot, but now there's a Goliath. He does a ton of damage, like as much damage as a stimmed Marine, if not more. So yeah, Lings have to fall back, but they see lack of an expansion. The command center had to be lifted and landed inside the main. All right, getting some work done. Hey, look, the Vultures showed up, and we weren't ready for it. Oh, no. Oh, no, Soma, bad opening. 3 kills already on this Vulture. Drones having to just kind of sit here and take it. Finally, the Lings take him down. The Mutas could have done it as well. The Mutas do scout what's going on here. Charon Boost is coming in, but it's going to take a minute before it shows up. Goliaths are going to have to deal with these Mutalisks without that inherent range advantage. Soma is going to try to break this thing, and can he do it? Could this be a sneaky 2 for you guys? You know, I always want you wondering that in these games. Could this be an attack that actually works? Or are we going to get a longer macro game here? I don't know. You don't know. Let's try to find out together here, right? So, Mutas. 4 of them. It's not even 5 Mutas, man. It's a little bit anemic. But turrets and Goliaths fighting. Charon Boost finishing up. Maybe by the time the Mutas come back around for another attack, Charon Boost will be done. But it's Lurkers, it's Hydras. He's not going into Mutalisks here. There we go. Charon Boost is complete. And guess what? Now the Mutalisks, ta-da, hanging out, man. Hanging out. Charon Boost ready to go. Can he successfully land his natural with the amount of Lings and Mutas at this location? And the answer, I think, is yeah. I mean, he landed it for a second and a half, and then it got attacked. And now there's Charon Boost. Goliath damage against both these things, well, especially against Lings, is pretty good. And against Mutas, yes, you're only doing half damage per shot, but the range helps so much in that situation. Any sign of a third base here from Soma? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not seeing him showing any indications of getting a third. He's getting Lurker Aspect. He's going to try to Lurker Hydra Contain or Bust here on Royal. And here we come. Here we come with the Hydras. He's not even giving them a speed upgrade or a range upgrade. These are Lurkers. This is Lurker Ling Muta on a Contain or a Bust attempt against Royal. Royal's working on mech upgrades. He's working on more Goliaths, obviously. He's got the barracks walled off, but he's not using it to build any Marines because obviously he doesn't want to make any more. The Muta production has been done. I don't think we're going to see any more of those. And Royal, I would recommend getting Valkyries. If your enemy is going for this many for more Mutalisks than this, like if we have, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them, then sure. But it's not, so no need for Valks. Here we go, dive bombing into the natural base. There's an engineering base taking some hits here. Lurkers burrowing on top of the natural. SCV's really having a bad time right now. Lings absorbing some of the damage. The Lurkers are dealing work to these Goliaths. One of them goes down. SCV is getting murdered in a very dangerous way. We've got some words coming in Korean here from Soma as the natural base is abandoned by Royal. Third base coming in back home. Second base of the Terran getting lifted. Soma's feeling great about this timing. There are still 5 Lurkers inside Royal's main base. The barracks getting attacked. Probably needs to lift off at some point. The engineering bay going to die. The command center runs for its life. The refinery explodes. And Royal is in an extremely tough position. Extraordinarily difficult. What's he going to do? The Zerg player's expanding behind this. I don't know about going up that ramp. I would make the Terran come down this ramp. At least make him get into siege tanks. Yes, siege mode is beginning. Yeah, it's 3 Mutalisks, but yeah, eventually they'll kill an engineering bay given enough time. Bam. Vultures go on a run by. Take some Lurker spines, but they are on the run by. Lurker trying to block that ramp against the Vulture. Drones like, what do we do? What do we do? There are 2 hatcheries coming up at the third, but no sign of a sunken to be built here at all. Just build a sunken, man. He has to evacuate his entire natural base because of these 2 Vultures, which the Mutas are coming back to deal with. The Contain is still real. Dude, I can see why RJB sent in this replay. What an incredible opening for Soma. He's up 33 to 32 workers at 9.5 minutes. That never happens. That never happens to anyone against somebody as good as Royal. He finally comes down the ramp and says, all right, we're taking lurkers vines. We got to do it, but we got to deal with these lurkers somehow. We need a second base, and he does. Very workmanlike. Comes down, bam. Natural base can lift from here and re-land. He actually built a comsat on that command center because he wanted detection against those lurkers. I love it. So this may be the only TVZ I've seen, man, ever, maybe, where the Zerg player knows that it's mech and hasn't built a sunken at the front door of his natural. It's just, it's so matter of fact. It's so normal if your opponent is going mech to get that sunken up, and he just isn't. And he lost a couple drones as a result, and he lost a lot of mining time at the natural because he doesn't. So just build it. I don't know why SOMA's trying to cut that corner, but he is, and I think he's not really getting much result from it. I mean, it works and everything, right? He's alive. He didn't really lose the game because he didn't have a sunken, but sometimes it's not about losing the game. It's about losing a couple drones in the early game or losing a lot of mining time in the early game, and that can kind of snowball into a problem. Mutas, again, we made 4 mutas today. I don't think he's making any more. SOMA loves his mutalisks. He does. He loves his mutalisks with all of his heart. But for now, he's not making any more. He's getting Hydra upgrades. Actually, I lied. He's getting a flyer attack upgrade. He's totally planning on making more. Did Vultures get into... He did. 2 more drones went down. Dude, Vultures got into the natural base again because there's not a sunken. Ow! 2 Hydras died. Why? Because you don't have Overlord speed. It's on the way, but you've delayed it. So yeah, cutting corners to get that lurker attack done was awesome. But he's getting hit on the backside of it because he's been cutting corners. Spider Mine's doing absolutely tons of work. I'm trying to like transfer some drones to that third base, but no, not with Vultures out here. Yeah, look at these Vultures. Trying to get up a ramp where there are Hydras is not like the greatest move I've ever seen. Maybe don't try to do that, Royal. Goliaths coming up. They're a little bit better at dealing with Hydras. They do more damage to them. Finally, detection exists. Okay, but do you not have the range upgrade yet? No. Okay, so we just lost like 3 or 4 Hydralisks because they didn't have the range upgrade yet for the Hydras and try to clear out Spider Mines. Behold, the Mutatech switch. We're back into it. He's getting a Carapace upgrade for the Mutalisks too. I was so wrong. He let his Mutalisk count go from 4 to 2, and I was like, well, that's it for Mutas. But then I realized he was getting a +1 flyer attack, and that changed everything. He is going Muta Hydra against these Goliaths. Where are the siege tanks? You kind of need siege tanks if you're dealing with a ton of Hydralisks. Goliaths sort of lose their effectiveness there. Overlord killed. That means the Zerg player knows where the Terran is. No base here. Ooh, we just scanned to see where the Zerg army was, and he found it. The Zerg army is here at the 10 o'clock position. Irradiate is on the way. And see you later, Mutalisk. Why were you here? I don't know. Wrong place, wrong time. Sometimes that happens to StarCraft units as well. Whew, time for some water, man. Ice water when casting StarCraft in late July is, yeah, it's very important. You need it or you're going to die. Vultures get into the third base, kill more drones. Yes, these are YOLO Vultures. Yes, they're going to die, but that's 1, 2, 3 more drones killed. It's not the best value. Here's the engagement. Jumping in. Mutalisks on top of the Goliaths. Hydra's coming in behind. A little bit late to the party, but maybe if the Goliaths are worried about the Mutalisks, the Hydras can sneak in, get a couple extra shots here and there, and we're actually going to wipe out this Goliath group entirely. That is what we're talking about when it comes to our dude barcoding SOMA here. So 3 base in, 39 workers, 47 SCVs on 2 bases is tough. We got a third CC coming in at 14 minutes. All of the timings are thrown off because of the bust of that natural with those lurkers. Nothing is normal in this game as far as timings go, which is good. Players, you know, having to adjust to new timings. It's always nice to see the players that can adjust successfully and those who kind of struggle with it. So 4th base coming in and maybe even expanding to a 5th base. He's going to get scouted by the Spider Mine. Yeah, see, Spider Mine sees the drone heading down this way and says, well, A single drone heading to the top left corner can only mean one thing, and that one thing is he wants to expand up here. Not that he has the money for it right now, but he could. Just wait a minute. He's got 41 drones on 3 bases. A lot of that's mineral income. More vulture. Just trying to make vultures work here. There are hydras, there are mutas. The spread is pretty good. Little groups of hydras, little groups of mutalisks patrolling around, looking, hunting for vultures, clearing out more spider mines. I mean, mutas do a better job of this for obvious reasons, but hey, hydras can clear it too. I like that sometimes the hydras get close enough to trigger, and you're like, oh, and then they don't actually kill the hydras if they have the range upgrade. So there's the tanks. This is how we deal with the hydralisk. The third base getting murdered by hydras. Stutter step into that thing. Gonna get it into burning at least. Yes, not going to kill it. The repair should come eventually on this third base. It's not like gonna die right now, but if the mutas dive on it, it is. Dude, Royal, what the heck, dude? Yeah, mutas are willing. Oh my gosh. 1 volley, 2 volley, and 3 volley done. 1 mutalisk died for that command center. That's huge. That's massively important. Okay, so now SOMA just needs to be able to deal with mech, which it's not a guarantee that Zerg players know how to do this. Tragically, in 2025. I'm just saying. I wish it was more common. Here we go. He's getting a Hydra Muta jump on this ball of stuff. The tanks, the Goliaths, the Irradiates. The Science Vessel's not getting targeted particularly here. Hydra's coming along the backside. The tanks aren't dead yet. Hydras, don't come in. Don't come too close. They need to kill every one of the Goliaths, and then the tanks will die to these mutas, but the Mutaflock is getting murked. They've got 1-1 upgrades, but it doesn't really make as much of a difference as you would hope. From the Zerg perspective, he thought he had enough to clear that out and win the game. He was woefully wrong. Woefully wrong. Wow, 5 kills, 7 kills, 6 kills, 6 kills Siege Tank. They stood there when the mutas came from the skies, and they stood strong. The Goliaths covered them. What are these hydras doing? Losing like 6 hydras for a tank is not good trades, I'm going to say. Still hasn't expanded to the top left. This is SOMA trying to win this thing on Hydra Muta with no queens, no plague, no drops. And more importantly, no drops. Look, you can do it with queens. You can do it with drops. This doesn't necessarily work all the time. Oh, the Irradiate. I just wiped out like 5 or 6 Mutalisks. There was no split at all from SOMA. He had other stuff going on. The production on 2 bases is insane out of Royal. That's what it's all about, man. If you want to see Falcon do insane production off of 2 bases for Terran, check out the live streams. This Thursday, here on this channel on YouTube, I will be live streaming the Brood War campaign, Terran mission number 8, I think the final mission in the Terran campaign, to chain the beast. Come say hello. I'm live streaming on this channel Thursday, Friday, and Saturday these days, and it'd be fun to have you around. So third base, well, still under duress. These hiders are not going to kill it, they know, so they're going to stand at the top of the ramp and try to just delay things as much as they can. But the third base by the Terran happens. Once again, SOMA's goal in life is to make sure that this third base doesn't actually come up, but he can't do it. These tanks say absolutely get out of here. They've got +2 attack and +1 armor. The mutas are at the 2-1 with the attack. 2-0 for the Hydras. Getting an armor upgrade against siege tanks is kind of dumb. So it makes sense. Mutas into the third base, trying to capture SCVs. Mutas trying to deal with these Goliaths that are stutter stepping. And it's not a big group of Mutalisks. It's 5 of them. But they take out every Goliath on the high ground. Another Goliath comes in. It's just such a small, scrappy group of Mutalisks. Meanwhile, oh, there's a spider mine up there at the 4th base. The 5th base never happened. I assume that drone got killed because he waited so long. Once again, you can split these, you know. He does successfully split the Mutalisk out. He's trying to boxer maneuver on the SCVs a little bit, which does injure some of them. All sorts of Christmas colors on these guys. Traffic light colors in America, anyway, on those SCVs. And SOMA is not letting up the pressure, man. Not even close. Bringing more Hydras to the party is one heck of a play. Yeah, I don't know that I've seen this much aggression from a Zerg player in a TVZ in a long, long time. The third base SCVs are pulled into conscription services to fight against these Hydras. They help clear them out, but then that kind of leaves these tanks a little exposed on the back end. And I don't know how Royal comes back from this. I mean, he's going to come back from it because he's at 86 to 68 supply. He's got more workers. He's got a third base. The Terran's fourth base barely exists. This Vulture has stopped all mining at this fourth base for at least a minute or so and even has a kill. Hydras +2 attack. Or are we just not hiving today? It would seem we're not hiving today. All right, the mechs at +3. They're going to have a major upgrade advantage for a long time. Because in order to get up to a hive, you need a Queen's Nest and then a hive and then work on the +3. And that's like 5 minutes of game time. So even if he starts now, which he's not going to get there. He finally makes a creep colony. Is that the first one he's made all game? It is. It's the first one he's made all game here at the 4th. Yeah, I think Royal's fine. He's in a fine spot. He's lost some SCVs. He's lost tanks. His third base was delayed and harassed indefinitely. But now it's over. The nightmare is over. He can quietly macro, spread his tanks out. Still no sign of a Queen's Nest. No sign of Overlord drops. It's what frustrates me about Zerg players more often is when there are specific tools you need. That's a lie. You can choose from the toolbox which tools you can use against mech. Queens, sure, if you can use them properly. Drops, yeah, also really good if you can use them properly. And he's just not using either of them. And if you're just not going to use queens or drops against mech, you're going to die. Oh my gosh. Pressing the SCVs, drones into conscription service again. 49 drones to 53 SCVs. I feel like it'd be 60 drones right now, except that he's refused to build static defense against vultures. And they've had so much more success than they should have. Absolutely crazy stuff. Base down the right side. Couple hiders protecting it. Can't complain too much about it. Queen's Nest. Any sign of a Queen's Nest, man. We're 20 minutes into this game. Yeah, I mean, I hate to simplify it, but I'm going to. If SOMA doesn't make a Queen's Nest, he's going to lose this game. Hydras and Mutalisks together are great, but not when there's +3 mech on the ground. Not when they're working on +3 armor and you're on 2-2. 2-0, I apologize. These Hydras are not enough. You can't just walk into this many tanks and expect to get any kind of a good trade. And that's where he is. He's making more mutas. Now look, can't say that I've seen a Zerg player attempt just a lot of Mutalisks against mech like this before. And I feel like the reason I haven't seen it is because it's not very good. But that's what SOMA's doing. Okay, he's getting a Queen's Nest. So crisis averted for now, Zerg players. He's getting a Queen's Nest at 23 minutes. Again, it's going to be about 5 minutes before he gets any kind of a +3 on these Hydras or these Mutalisks. We'll see if he actually makes queens. We'll see. Ow. If he actually goes for drops. Like the further armor on the mutas and the overlords is kind of cool. Look at this. Yeah, 4th base, easy as pie. A meching 4-baser. Oh, so powerful. All right, mutas dive bomb into a base that's pretty undefended against air. A ton of Goliaths joined the party, though. So a few SCVs died. Not the entire mineral line, but a bunch of them. It is 66. There's the Irradiate to 42. Split is like, I don't know, C-rank split. Not good. That was an S tier, and that was, I don't know. The Muta that got irradiated died immediately, so I think he tried to split it off, but it was already dead. So I think that's an NA. That's a non-applicable grade. Another drone dead at the attempt expanding it that way. So fine, he says. I guess if the army's in the top left, I'll expand down this way. More scans across the map, just seeing where the Hydras are, checking the high ground, checking the 4th base, see how saturated it is. And just very casually, very strongly, moving out with this mech. Queens are on the way. Okay, so here it is. Queens, yes. Spawn Broodling Attempted, yes. This is not something that wins all the time. This is not something that wins all the time. It's not like, hooray, the Zerg player made queens, and therefore they've defeated the evil mech. No, not at all. Queens are hit and miss. For a long time, I didn't see a queens win against a Terran player on the channel for like 5 years. Not that it happens all the time, is part of the problem, but then Zerg players started using queens in smart ways, like coming from angles where the Goliaths are not covering them. Coming in and sniping a tank and running away immediately. Like a lot of the people try to use queens like, well, it's a spawn broodling machine, and once it spawns broodlings, it's done, and you just kind of leave it to die. You gotta treat them like multiple spellcasters, like High Templar, for example. Right? And yes, you gotta wait a long time between spellcasts. That's the nature of the Queen and other stuff like the Dark Archon. Here we go. Hydra Muta, top of the ramp. No queens right now, man. It's gonna be a minute. He's got the upgrade. He needs the energy. And, oh, gosh. Now the question is, was he too late? Was he simply too late trying to get into what he needed to deal with this mech? And the answer is, yeah, it kind of feels like it. This 12 o'clock is going to die. The fourth base, there's no saving it. Drones evac. Try to come down to, like, go to this base, but there's there's not enough tanks to then deny that. As it turns out, I do like the stutter stepping from SOMA. That is some pretty sick stuff. Bam, and that guy escapes because tanks are faster than you think. But it makes up for the fact that they can't move when they're in siege mode. So yeah, fourth base dies. Third base probably going to die. You park a couple tanks on this ramp and everybody's out. No Sunkens at the top of the ramp. No Lurkers at the top of the ramp. SOMA comes around the backside trying to clear it. But again, no drops, no queens. Death. No drops and no queens means death. Oh, now Royal has something to say. SOMA thought he had this game won with the busting of the natural base at like minute 8, but nope. Royal, like I said, is going to come back. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He gets all of the tanks, almost all of the tanks. One of them's getting chomped to death and does get taken out. All the tanks are dead. The queens largely stay alive. That was really good by SOMA. That's what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, these Goliaths are on the high ground. Irradiating a queen will kill it. Doesn't have the energy or the HP to deal with being irradiated and surviving. The only Zerg unit that can, I believe, is the Ultralisk. Everything else dies to an irradiate. The third base dies. The tank count's been reset. These queens have proven themselves an excellent threat now. Let's see if SOMA can use them to great effect again. Now, we had this on Saturday. Queen went for queens against Flash's mech. I'm not going to tell you who won, but this is the second game in 2 casts where this has happened, and let's see if SOMA can make it work. Yeah, I love these Goliaths just sitting on the high ground being like, so come up here. Yeah, a lot of Hydras are going to die, but I mean, we need this third base back, so whatever. We'll pay the price. Enough money to make a third. Enough money to remake the fourth if he doesn't spend anything between now and then. He just made 10 queens. Holy smokes. 10 queens at a time. Good old Dr. Stillwell. And the diner. That's open 20. Pretty sure that says 27 hours a day. Again, we're not on Earth. That's certainly the case. Yeah, it's, oh my gosh, restoration? What? Does he want to restore Parasite? Tank down, run away. Oh, this is exactly how queens need to be used. Yeah, tank down, run away. Tank down, run away. Vultures on the move out. It's not been a lot of vultures on these attacks. But Royal's investing a little bit into them to Spider-Mind little attack paths and hope the Hydras outrun their coverage. You know the drill. And... oh, EMPs a bunch of the queens. That's a sick move. Absolutely needed there. And he wants to infest the command center. The queen dies. The Goliath... no, he gets it! What?! Infested command center dies immediately, as is its wont. That's what infested command centers do about 99% of the time in pro games, is they die immediately. But that was sick. This game's probably getting an epic tag. Holy smokes, infested command center. This game, I mean, you've probably noticed, but that I split off little clips from my cast, put them on YouTube Shorts, put them on Twitter, put them on Facebook and Blue Sky and Instagram and TikTok and stuff. And there have been 2 moments today that I'm wanting to split off into social media. That means it's a good game. That means it is epic worthy. Oh, no, science vessels, no. Where are you okay, cool, losing 2 science vessels. That was exciting. I mean, the army's going to come down this ramp and make sure you can expand here. The command center that was going to land there is dead. Ooh, parasite restoration. Restoration. You can... There it... Oh, restoration on the science vessel! Ho, 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 ho. Ah, Royal is the restoration king. I'm going to start calling him that. He gets restoration about 99 times more than any other Terran player in the world. He uses restoration against plague on his science vessels. He uses restoration against parasite on his science vessels. These Scourge are dead. Like, not even close, guys. Nice vulture drop. Killed a couple drones, but the drop ship and the vultures got killed as well. So not the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. We'll roll with it, I suppose. 146 to 148 supply. Even supply is not exactly great for the Zerg in this situation. Give it a try, though. Yeah, this tank count is 3. There's 1 defending the base. He wants to infest another command center. He gets irradiated, but he does spawn Broodling. The Queen's friendly fire splash kills the 3rd tank. Irradiate on these Hydras. He's hurting his friends so much. You either have to burrow that Hydra or kill it with your friends. That's what you have to do. Reinforcements coming in from the south. More spawn Broodling shenanigans up here. 3 tanks remain. They're kind of covering the top left 5th base. Mostly, I guess. Another irradiated Queen explodes with one of the kind of most Zergy death sounds in the game, I think. I think the Queen has the most Zerg-like death sound in the game. You think that's accurate? I think it is. It's my opinion, but you believe what you want. Overlord's absorbing early shots so the Queens can come in and get spawn Broodlings off is pretty great. He scouts the base, sees it. I think this base might be determining who wins the game. So 1, 2. Spawn Broodling on a Goliath there. Yeah, he's doing it on Goliaths. Wow, sick attack. Soma has some words now as he completely takes control of the 5th base on the top left side. Infested, 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 infested. Too late. Too late. His own Hydra's killed it before it could be infested, but that's okay. He probably could have held on to that one too, actually. Dude, this is, yes, this is maybe one of my favorite games I've cast all year. Queen does not make it out. A little bit sloppy there, but how many Queens are there? Look at this. Tank, 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 tank. Goliath. Everybody dies. It's 140 to 101 supply. This is the most effective use of Queens I have seen on the channel in a long time. There was another game that did happen on the channel, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, that was this level of Queen usage against a meching Terran, and it looked overpowered, and it looked like he was impossible to defeat, but then we never saw it again, and Soma's bringing it to the party here in 2025, just making mech look unplayable if your opponent Zerg knows what they're doing. And Soma certainly does. Look at these Broodlings. 0-1 Broodlings, mind you. They don't have any kind of upgrades to speak of whatsoever. Holy Hannah. 5 Queens at a time being produced. This is the most Queens we've seen in a game since that one. I'm trying to think. I think it was Mong was the Terran player. I don't remember what the map was. It was a weird map that I never cast on. Somebody with a better memory than me is going to have to remember what that map was. You probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Hydra's just randomly coming in. Nice D-Matrix on the tank. Woo! Keeping it alive. Tank under the science vessel. Really smooth, too. No, Royal's not giving up. Did he get his face kicked in by that Queen attack a second ago? Yes. Is it going to remain kicked in? No. Definitely not. Hydras. They have their +3 attack now, so that's a big part of this. No drops, but he is using Queens. I mean, it's only 4 tanks. They are covered by Goliath, but I think if you swing the Queens this way and go tank, 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 and then come back the same direction, I think you can get the Queens out of there, get rid of that tank support, and then the Hydras can take out these Goliaths. Soma doesn't quite have a full picture of what's going on there, right? So he's just coming into this 4th base, which is pretty woefully undefended, actually. Goliaths have to peel out from the 5th base to help defend it. Irradiates on the queens are so useful. Royal, man. Look at the irradiate damage these hydras are doing to each other. He does kill one of the hydras that was irradiated. Smart move. Undoubtedly that. This tank does get killed by hydras and broodlings. You know what? Just kill the science vessel. There you go. Science vessel down. Science vessel down. Goliath down. Goliath down. 130 to 109 supply. It's closer than it was a second ago. Hydra's trying to respond to the response, but nope. The response is too strong. Oh, this game is going to give me a heart attack. Like, sometimes RJB sends me games and says, this is a good one, and it's like the best game I've seen all year. And sometimes he sends me a game and he's like, this is a good one, and it's like, it's pretty good. It doesn't really, you know, break any ground or anything, but it's pretty good. And there's a big difference between the two, and I like getting surprised, and I think RJB knows that too. So, Goliath, you're gonna Queen? Nothing? Okay. When Queens start dying for no reason, that's when the Zerg player starts to die. Look at this. Royal not only is defending adequately, he's getting across the map now. It looked like it was over for him. It did. It looked like it was over him a while ago. Like 4 or 5 minutes ago, it looked like it was done, but... Okay, hang on. The tanks are dying at an alarming rate. This queen... Yeah, where's the anti-air? Every time there's a good engagement from Soma, he talks smack. And every time there's a good engagement from Royal, he talks smack. I need someone in the comments who speaks Korean to translate for me, and if you do, I'll pin your comment. Because I'd love to know what they're saying to each other here, because I'm sure it's very funny. At least, you know, accounting for cultural differences between Korea and America. But, yo, overwhelming this top left base. What did I say? The game kind of hinges on this top left base. A couple reinforcements coming in. I'm not sure if there's enough Terran to do this. Soma continues to talk smack while he's attacking into this position. SCVs are dying at an alarming rate. The irradiates are super good. The irradiate on the SCVs. Oh, he irradiated. No, he irradiated. He turned into a lurker egg that he irradiated, and then the SCVs died on the irradiated lurker. What? Dude, like 15 SCVs died there. Bam, bam, bam. Tank down. One queen died. Acceptable losses. 119 to 94 supply. Royal is under 100 supply right now. These bases seem okay. This base actually got mined out, so it couldn't have gotten hit too hard. In the last 20 minutes or so. I have not looked at it very much. I apologize for that, but all the action's been in the top left corner here for sure. Ba-bam, ba-bam. Another queen dies. These two make it away. Look, that's fine. As long as not every queen is dying when they come in here to spawn broodling, I think it's all right. Okay, more queens into the top left. Vultures, yes. Not going to help against these queens very much. There we go. Try to trigger some spider mines, maybe. Well, bam. Goliath spawn ruling. Tank, tank, tank. Oh. This is the most spawn broodling we've seen on the channel in a hot minute. As the kids would say 5 years ago. Scourge. Bam. Science vessel. Broodlings fighting against SCVs. Medics are helping. That's not fair. That's cheating. And Royal taps out. SOMA getting the win in 38 minutes and 9 seconds. What? Epic tag. Epic, 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 epic tag. We got an infested Terran. We got restoration. We got 87 broodling spawns today. The queens generally sort of kind of stayed alive a little bit. As opposed to most of these games that queens are used, where they all die immediately and there are no queens around ever. Soma keeps care of his queens. He takes care of them. He babies them. And just a gorgeous, gorgeous game from Soma. Yeah, he busted the natural and thought he'd won. He hadn't. Royal is a monster who recovered quite nicely. Came up the left side. And this base is what mattered. Once this base got killed and taken by somebody, it was probably going to be over. That was so good. That was so fun. I really hope you enjoyed that game. Thanks, RJB, for the replay. Thanks, Royal and Soma, for the game, too. And again, come translate the Korean for me, because I would love you if you did. Anyway, shoot. I mean, yeah, all the action was on the left side. This base died once. This base died once, too. Remember, Soma lost his 4th and his 3rd base in this game. Although Royal lost his 4th and his 3rd, and one of his bases got well, one of his future bases got infested, which was incredible. Yeah, I mean, I don't smoke, but this is one of those games where I'm like, I need a cigarette. Awesome. Awesome with an awesome stuff. From Soma, 310 to 309 total points in favor of Royal. He got outproduced, but he outkilled by pretty similar numbers. Structures raised, 21 to 12 in favor of the Zerg. The outspend by the Zerg was about 16,000 resources in 38 minutes. Is not the best, but it's also not the worst. So that's a GG. That's what we're talking about. We're looking at one of the greatest TVZs of the last couple years on the channel. Mind-blowingly good. And that's going to be it from me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.